Hi, it is iYikKam time again. So recently in the Wing Chun forum, we discussed about critical thinking, creative thinking, this kind of stuff. Okay, and since year 2000, if you check on the Wing Chun mail list at that time when we have this Wing Chun mail list started by Rene Ritchie, you can see that there is plenty of discussions based on critical thinking, this kind of stuff, okay? And even at that time, people say that, human is not cloned. And there will be creative thinking there and so forth. Okay, so 17 years later, 2017, today, the thing raised up again. And I like to share with you the following because this is critical. If we don't get this proper, we are not going to get the result we want. The proper way has to be, first, it has to be accurate thinking before one can practice critical thinking and creative thinking. So it is like if we want to study mathematics, we better accurately know what is addition, subtractions, multiplications, and divisions before we talk about like something in postdoctoral degree, all this philosophy, creative, critical, what to critical, what to creative, what to philosophical about it, if we have no idea what is the most basic addition, subtractions, divisions, multiplications. What we need is just the basic and an accurate thinking to study this basic. Without this basics, the rest is just talk. Okay? So today I want to share with you very key important thing what people miss on this studying of the multiplications, additions, divisions, subtractions, and the accurate thinking. So 17 years has passed, and I'm going to tell you today why is this thing is not solved after 17 years. But keeping things piled up crazily, okay? Internal this and that. I'm going to show you here. Based on what? Based on the ancient Shaolin short strike script, classic or canon. So I didn't make this up, and I want to show you what it is. Okay, if we don't know this, forget about all this critical thinking, philosophy, and the creative thinking, or everybody can develop their own. Develop what if we don't even have the basis? Okay. Now, before I'm going to share with you this thing, one thing I like to address is that here I don't like to promote violence. Wing Chun is a science and art. We can study what it is and not get into the violence. Like somebody in the YouTube or in the forum saying, "Oh, Wing Chun is no good." Okay, and then you say, "Well, I'm going to fight you." Okay. Well, that doesn't prove anything. The proper way is to really investigate and develop the skill of Wing Chun. For example, if you have nuclear weapon, do you care those guys who have using arrow and bows try to say, "Oh, you are bad, you just lousy"? You know you have nuclear weapon. That guy is only get what? Spear and bow. And you don't have to blow them up. Why? Because there's humanity. There's human. Okay. What important is the technology? If one doesn't have the technology, forget about it. Anybody fight anybody is not going to prove anything. Okay. It's only that individual. Even in the ancient time about Gong Sao, the rule is that anybody win it doesn't mean that the guy who loses the style, the school, or his sifu is bad. It's just only two persons. And also, sparring, as per general Qi Ji Guang teaching, sparring is just test out different type of momentum, whether it works or it doesn't work, and how to improve it. That's sparring. Sparring is not saying that, oh no, I want to damage you this way, I want to injure you this way. That mentality itself is a premeditative, intentional crime. Okay? So, get this thing straight and not get ourselves into problem. And Wing Chun do not need to promote violence. Okay? And that's the bottom line. Otherwise, if you promote violence, the society is going to kick you out. Okay? So again, this has got to do with accurate thinking. Instead of going to get emotion. I know now we all love Wing Chun. But loving Wing Chun meaning that to develop the technology. Instead of go fight this guy, fight that guy, and try to, you know, get all this crime stuff, which is not whatever the teaching of Wing Chun is about. Okay? At least not what General Qi Ji Guang is going for. Okay? Not the Shaolin Classic too. The Shaolin Classic says specifically, this is to help the weak, to speak up for the weak. I never taught this kind of thing to those who create problems and make other people suffering in their living. Or you teach people to bully other people. Okay? So this need to be get straight. Otherwise, this is not Wing Chun. But because Wing Chun Chinese martial art, this is the code, need to be followed. Okay? Now, let's get to the topic of accurate thinking. So, for past 17 years, everybody have all this philosophy, internal, and all this, everything, mind power, whatever. Do you know that this wooden dummy most of us using is improper, and it is not suitable for Wing Chun practice? Do you know that? If you want to say that this critical thinking, exercise the critical thinking and creative philosophy, do you know that this wooden dummy is problematic? It is not for Wing Chun training. At least for most of us today. Why? First thing, Wing Chun is a sneaking body short strike. Mai san, tuin da, hit san, tuin da. Okay? So, Wing Chun means is fighting zone. This is in the second zone. For those who don't know about this zone, watch my video on the 4 zones. Okay? Second zone and the third zone. This close. Right? Now, this dummy with this size is not designed for one be able to fight testing or practice or develop skill in this zone. It's not. Why? See, my body is this big. If I want to fight in the this is center gate. If you call this is a side gate, this is center gate. I supposed to get in here. Get in here. Yes, this close. But I can't get in here because I get stuck here already. Okay? Now, this size is good for somebody like, say, for example, 5 feet tall, and I'm 5'11". How am I going to supposed to get in here? I can't. And thus, I cannot develop my Wing Chun skill in the middle gate or center gate. There's no way I can do that because I'm stuck here already. Okay? That's number one. Number two, this leg is too far away. It has to be go almost straight. So what happens? Even within the center gate, okay, in the center gate, I'm within the center gate, I can shift very closely and these legs actually prohibit me to shift in the within the middle gate. Okay. So, like for example, if I am the wounded dummy, you see, this is the middle gate. This is the middle gate. You are supposed to get in here, or get in here. So this is my leg here. You'll be supposed to switch from here, and you'll be able to get close. I can. Okay. Now, also, this arm has to tailor according to the person. The same thing, because between middle gate and side gate, or center gate and side gate, I have to be able to shift from this guy to this in. Okay, you see I'm shifting here, and now I'm stuck. Okay? So, I just take this one to show you. So the idea is, one, be able to go from here to get this close, okay? To get this close, because I want to find the middle gate, okay? And then the idea is I be able to shift from the middle gate to the side gate, okay? Without things blocking me. And then I have to be able to shift from one side of the middle gate, center gate, to the other side of the center gate. Okay? So that's why I took the leg off there, because I cannot do that. Okay? Now, this is all required in the second zone and the third zone of fighting. You need to shift from outside gate to inner gate and shift both sides of the center gate or middle gate, and then shift out as you want. So Wing Chun is good at just going around, circling him, sticking at him, and play here. Okay? Now, this thing is good. It's designed that way so that we don't stand in the middle. This is going to hit you. Okay, if you stand like this. iYikKam yang ma stand like this, it's going to hit you. It's not going to practice anything. This is for you to aware of. I want to either go this side, or go this side. If this is big enough like that, I can go in. Okay? So, meaning Wing Chun is not going to go idiotic like this straight, but it's going to go in this way or go in this way. Okay? And meaning it's going to go in this way and play, or go in this way and play. It's not going to smash like that. Why? Because the opponent's two cannon is waiting for you. Okay? So to recap, number one, this needs to be bigger, because I'm 5 feet 11. I'm not 5 feet. It has to accord my body size, otherwise cannot get in. Okay? The second is, this length has to be adjusted so that I be able to turn, instead I have to move outward and backward. Okay? You want to be able to go there. Wing Chun technique is for that. The third one is this thing. Has to be there, so I have to have the feet play. I can go from here, I can go switch from here, all this feet play, and my knee play, and so forth. Okay? So, if we talk about critical thinking, if we talk about creative thinking and philosophy, why is past 17 years we all have our education and we cannot figure this out, that this is problem? We practice, keeping practice this and this, we're going to get shoot. Even this is the what we call that, usually people say, oh, stay at the 5 o'clock and the 7 o'clock This is a long fist zone, zone 1. Anybody practice that and become a habit will get hit. Disregard how you run, as this way. I try to explain, right? You can go from here to here. I just have to shift a little bit, I got you. And who is faster? Me turning a little bit slightly like that and shoot, or I have to training go the whole body. This doesn't work. So this is the bottom line. Wing Chun is a sticking body short strike. Wing Chun fight this way. Thus these tools has to accord to the person who trained that wooden dummy. Otherwise, game's over. You don't get anything. You just go bang, no bang, bang, like the Mr. Donnie Yen play in the movie. It's just worth nothing but show business like a dance, okay, or ritual. Now, so that's the first thing. If you want to be serious, that's what it is. Go to your dummy and see whether you can squeeze in. If you cannot squeeze in, you get stuck in the first zone. You're not going to develop sticking body short strike. No way. Because this is physics, biomechanics. Okay? Now, the second thing is this. Somehow on the line, somebody after the 1950s get the term song from the Tai Chi people or eternal people, and then start import this thing, knowing or unknowingly, into the Wing Chun, thinking that this is the ultimate, and if you have song, you can have Fa Jing and all this, and your techniques will be so good. You know what? If you have a critical thinking and creative thinking, like many people have done this kind of stuff for 20, 30 years, and without the accurate thinking, it's still off target. So what is song? Song is just a state of handling human biomechanics. Okay, just that. Song have 3 common states, as I explained in my book on the 613.3, the basic Wing Chun, basic ancient Wing Chun art and science. The 3 states, okay? Song or loose, okay? That way of handling the human body biomechanics. The first, the body has to be able to open up. The second has to be linked, moving. When you move it under the open up situation. The third state is the lightweight state. So one has to pass through how to get to the first state, the open state, and then the link state, and then lightweight state, and only then one can have a basic experience on song, okay, which is a Chinese term, which is not exclusive for Tai Chi. In Wing Chun, it's not song, the term. In Wing Chun, in the iYikKam Xiu Lian Tao, 1840, the creed is say that your body should not use brute force. Or another way, your whole body, entire body, has to be lightweight. Okay? So you need to have get through the state of openly you can link and join and moving, and then the third state is light. And then there's no end to it, because you need to how to handle the whole thing and keeping refined and improve it. So in my the book of the 613.3, the basic ancient Wing Chun Queen art and science, it describes all those states. That's why 613.3, the 13th state. Okay, there one need to be able to get that in order to handle what kind of state and to enter what kind of physical handling state. And also, because it requires the entire body must not use brute force. In my second book, the beginning Wing Chun book, which is introducing the short strike, it tells how the body can get light because it has to loose up from the 7 ball upward, cannot go downward. So all those things are in those 2 books, okay? Now, that is just the song or be lightweight, that is just the state of handling the human biomechanics so that it become more efficient. Okay, that's all. It doesn't cover other things. It's just limited to that. Now, Wing Chun have Wing Chun mechanics. Okay, Wing Chun mechanic. As I shared before, Wing Chun mechanic, the first thing is the mechanical advantage or the leverage. The second is the torque, because we're going to fight here in this zone, second zone and the third zone. Okay? That is Wing Chun mechanics. And then in this zone, you play with action-reaction force. If you don't know this, your body can be sewn until like a butterfly can fly. If that's possible, you still don't know the mechanics. If you don't know the mechanics, there's no way you can develop the skill of Wing Chun. That's simple. Okay? Not to mention, today I want to share with you something. Because this is on my way, I want to take it out. According to the ancient Shaolin short strike classic, which is Wing Chun is based on, the mechanics of the fighting in the center gate and the side gate is different. The middle gate, the entering or the targeting or the slice in is this way. That's why it said center gate, looking for the left and right edge. This is a quid, okay? Fighting in the center gate is looking for the targeting for the 左右脚, left and right edge. Fighting in the outer gate is looking for the chest, which is the center line. That is what it is, okay? So, center gate, you go this way or this way. In the outside gate, you go this way to the center line. That is the Wing Chun mechanics. Why? Let me tell you one thing. The Tan Sao this way is wrong. The Tan Sao this way is wrong. This way is wrong because mechanical, physically, based on momentum, this will not get in unless you brute force it using a lot of big momentum. This way is your body breakdown that you will not be able to have a unity momentum. Okay? So, let's get through this. If I go this way, okay? I go this way. You go try. If some guy who is big guy has a hand like that, you turn this hand straight in, like turn this way and straight in. You see, will you be able to get in or not? You will not be able to get in because the whole body is engaged and you end up like pushing each other. Okay? And you try to overpower him to get in. If you are 50 pounds more than him, you probably have a better chance. But if you are 20 pounds less than him, then you got big trouble. So, that's why this one, it doesn't work because human biomechanics and physics doesn't make sense. Okay? And also, this type of style is a long fist style, you're pushing your opponent away. As for this, now you got a problem. Is your momentum go that way or your momentum go that way? Or now you get stuck there because your momentum stuck. momentum is a vector quantity. It needs to go somewhere. Okay? So this is the whole body broken down. This one, it has a direction, but it becomes collusion. Now, remember just now I said the center gate fighting is go to the edge, to the left or right edge. Like you face me, instead of going this, crushing with me, you actually crossing to my sideway, my edge. The secret is in the design of this hand. You did this hand is like this, right? Outward. Hand is designed this way, right? Do you know why the hand is designed that way? Okay, this is the key. My hand like that, you try to turn me, you got a problem. But if you pull my hand 45 degrees like this arm, okay, you pull my hand in the direction of this way, you see? So is this one? You see that? If you try to against me this way, you got a problem. But if you pull this elbow up area 45 degrees out there, you end up doing this, and I cannot sustain my force. I am going to break down. So Wing Chun, when it get into here, is actually pulling. You see, this receiving is actually pulling him in this direction, and the strike is going in the left and right directions. That's why it said, center gate, you target the left and right corner, and this turns out it's just pulling out. So like this, if you come at me, you target me on this side, you pull my hand like this. When you pull my hand, my body is disintegrate. You strike in here. This hand, because my body is disintegrate and you are closing, this hand, even if it hits you, is not that strong anymore. But if you get really close to me, then it's less chance for this to hit you. That's Wing Chun mechanics. That is sticking body short strike. So it's going this way. It's going this way. Okay? It is not this way. It is not this way. Again, are we going to follow the ancient Shaolin short strike art, which is Wing Chun based on, or you get all this critical thinking, creative thinking, philosophy, my way? Way for what? People have living in the fighting zone or the war zone since General Qi Ji Guang, 1560, until the book what we see today of the Shaolin is 1780, 200 years of that. How many people in China practicing martial art for real fighting? Are you saying that they are not as creative and critical thinking as us? Or it is our problem that we don't have accurate thinking and we have never trained, whatever it is. So, center line is a kiss of death. In the middle. Not according to me, Hendrik. Go read that classic. You go there, you cannot you push yourself out in the first zone. Brute force to against him, you got a problem. So you can be strong as you want. You can be, say, like the Taoist Zhan San Feng, be strong, extremely strong like butterfly. But if you don't know this mechanic of entry of Wing Chun, you still stuck. You don't know Wing Chun. Okay? That's number one, the mechanics. Number two, again, based on the Shaolin Classic 1784, which can track back to 1684, because the monk Xianji is trackable in Shaolin, in Shaolin's their generations. Okay, so that Shaolin canon of the short strike, which is I mentioned, which Wing Chun based on, is a real deal. Okay? Now, inside there they say this. When you first practice, you want to go as fast as possible, as heavy as possible. You use your full force. Full force, fast, as heavy as possible. And then, the more you practice, the more you refine it and the more soft you will be. Because you can handle the details already. And you can handle what? Because this is about momentum handling. Have you ever seen people fight with the slow, those kind of things? You don't. You just go full force momentum. You have your own, as what I coined it, the background momentum and the opponent's momentum. You have to deal with it. So, in that classic, it says, particularly specific in riding, black and white, you train as hard, as fast as possible. And you refine it that way until it's soft. It says also, if you start with slow and soft, you'll never get anywhere. And it's actually, it develops bad habit. Go read that thing. You will never get any advance. With you do slow, soft, okay? Now, in the reality, if you look at momentum, is look at fighting. Fighting is the exchange of momentum. That's what it is. If you don't train this way, how the heck are you going to develop the skill? So, all this, somebody took the internal art stuff. You need to be slow practice. This is, first, it doesn't cover the Wing Chun mechanics, which is the Shaolin short strike mechanics. The second, it goes totally, completely opposite directions of reality of fighting, according to the ancient Shaolin scripture. Okay? So today I share with you these two. Number one is the dummy. Number two is this, you need the mechanics and proper way of handling develop momentum. Song is not going to do anything. Song is just say, oh yeah, I want to have a state in my state handling in my of my biomechanics. And Song have three, at least minimum 3 states, as I say in my books, 613 free books. You need to go through that and understand step by step. Whoever going through that already, they know how their body open. It's not what you think. Okay? Most people who talk Song have no clue of how to open these 3 states. And thus it's just talk. So there's biomechanics. Handling, okay? The effective using or efficient use of biomechanics. And for the fighting Wing Chun mechanics, the short strike mechanics of how to use force. Or in other words, you want to use the term fudging, okay? Using the leverage is a fudging, using the torque is a fudging, and going on the cross directions and all these mechanics you need to understand the basic Wing Chun. Otherwise, what are you doing? And the end, you practice with strong and hard because it's momentum. Just look at all this YouTube for the real bare fist fighting. You see, anybody go play with Song and fudging with you? In fact, you look at that, a lot of so-called internal art stuff, and now in China, you're fighting the MMA. How did they perform? So this is to share with you, and I don't like that this thing being put into violence or anything, because there's not Wing Chun ancestor or Chi Chi Guang's notions or goal. The specific goal is this is for helping the weak to protect your country, your home, your family. It's not for bullying people, but you need this technology. Okay? So this is to share with you. Again, we need to get bottom into what is going on and using using the accurate thinking, like we learn mathematics. We need to have a strong basic before we can talk about creativity, talk about philosophy, critical thinking, and suddenly stamp myself with a grandmaster title because I create my own Wing Chun. That's BS, okay? Because we don't even have the kindergarten or the elementary school math. We don't even know how to count fingers, and we suddenly want to be grandmaster. So this is to share with you today.